Resistance isn't your enemy. It's protection. But what if the thing it's protecting isn't actually you? We tend to think of resistance as a problem. Procrastination, avoidance, staying stuck. But resistance has intelligence. It shows up to protect your sense of self, the identity you've built to survive your life up until now. And at some point, that identity becomes heavy. The version of you that keeps everything together, the one who copes, performs, adapts. That self isn't fake in a negative way. It is just outdated. It was built in response to the past. But you're still spending energy maintaining it in the present. And it's exhausting. It is exhausting. Change doesn't mean or just mean something better. To your system, change feels like a risk. Even healing can feel threatening. Because healing asks you to loosen control, to feel more, to step into the unknown, the threshold of the unknown. So resistance steps in and says, stay here. This is familiar. This is safe, even though it may be binding you into a life that is totally unfulfilling and frustrating. And this is where people get stuck. Life becomes repetition. Wake up, do what's required, get through the day, perform. It works, but it feels flat. Not painful enough to change, but not alive enough to feel fulfilled. That is survival, our survival instinct. But there is a way through. Not by fighting resistance, but by listening to it. Because resistance shows you exactly where you're holding yourself in place. Up to this point, we've been talking about resistance, understanding it, making sense of it. But this isn't just something to think about. It's something you can experience directly. So rather than just leave this as an idea, let's take a moment to explore it. If you'd like, just pause with me for a moment. You might gently close your eyes or soften your gaze. Gently close your eyes or soften your gaze and simply notice. Where in your body do you feel resistance right now? No need to change it. No need to fix it. Just notice. And then quietly ask yourself, what am I protecting? An open question of inquiry, of curiosity within yourself. What am I protecting? And as that question lands, see if anything shifts. even slightly. No forcing, just awareness, just awareness. If you have a small object nearby, a stone, a shell, something from nature, a ring, you can hold it gently in your hand. And as you hold it, repeat silently or softly, I no longer need to protect who I am not. I no longer need to protect who I am not. And just notice what softens, what softens. When we stop fighting resistance, it often begins to reveal something deeper. Maybe something very precious. One of the most powerful ways through this is expression. Not perfection, not performance, expression. Movement, writing, voice, heart, because survival mode often freezes parts of us. And expression begins to bring them back into motion, And maybe you noticed that resistance isn't something you have to fight. It's something you can listen to. It's something you can have a conversation with through expression. Because underneath resistance, there's often a part of you that's learned to protect, to hold things together, to survive. And that isn't the problem. But it may no longer need to lead. But it may no longer need to lead. Survival kept you alive. But it's expression that begins to bring you alive. And perhaps the shift isn't about becoming something new, but gently letting go of who you've been trying to be. So the next time resistance shows up, you might not push it away. You might simply ask, what am I protecting? And is it still necessary? And from there, something new can begin to move. Not forced or controlled, but expressed. If this resonates, you're welcome to explore more of this work here. And I'll see you in the next one.